The next mistake is very common, and I've made myself too. That is taking salary negotiation too personally. Believe it or not, it's really not personal. What the company is willing to pay you says how much they value the job, not how much they value you as a person. In case you are new to this channel, my name is Tiffany Chen. I'm the former Vice President of Communication at the Volvo Group and Atlas Copco Group. Now I help middle management get senior leadership positions through influence so that they can make more, impact more, and become more. If you want more content on this topic, be sure to subscribe or hit the bell button so that you will be notified each time I upload a new video every single week. I want to let you know the free masterclass 6 steps to not stay in the middle management and become a senior leader for more impact and income is still open. If you want to fast track your career to go from middle to top, or if you want to apply to join the 1% Academy where I will be coaching you one-on-one, be sure to stick around until the end of the video for announcement how to join both. In any interview process, there will be a point where you need to talk about your salary expectation. And this question might come up in the beginning or the end of the job interview. It's rather uncomfortable and maybe awkward for you to talk about money, but also you don't want to come across as unprepared. Also, you don't want to ignore this question. So how do you deal with it? How do you deal with salary negotiation? In this video, I'm going to talk about all the mistakes you might be making and what you can do about them. First, it might be helpful for you to understand the intention behind this question. What is your salary expectation? It's actually quite simple. The recruiting manager has a salary range and there's a budget they need to follow. So all they want to make sure is the number you're going to provide is within their budget. As simple as that. First, let's talk about the mistakes you might be making in salary negotiation so that you are aware and will not make them again. The very first mistake is to not negotiate and you assume the company will do the right thing. Maybe you fear they will like you less or they might take the offer away. As someone who has been in both sides of the table, who try to hire and who try to negotiate, I can assure you this has never happened. When I'm the hiring manager, I actually expect and prepare for this negotiation to come up from the candidate. I actually have respect for the candidates who do so because I will need them to have these skills when they are actually on my team and doing the job. They might be negotiating with suppliers or they might be pushing the boundary back to another function. And you also want to remind yourself that at this point where you've got the offer, you actually are a team with the recruiter. You have the same goal. They would like you to take the job. You would like to have the job. So it's actually working towards the same goal for both of you when it comes to negotiating the offer. Now think about it. It takes some months to find you. They've gone through hundreds of CVs. Probably they have done 4 to 8 formal interviews, depends. And you are their final choice. Yes, they might have a backup, but that backup right now is waiting for the next steps and putting on hold, and their first choice is you. And if you walk away at this point from the negotiation, it will be a nightmare for them to restart the whole process again. And as a hiring manager myself, once I have decided, I have already mentally picturing how it will be like for us to work together. I probably have already made plans for this candidate. And I will do everything I can to get this candidate in my team so that we can actually implement my plan. The last thing I want to do is to go back and restart the entire process. The next mistake is to discuss the salary too early. Information is the power in any type of negotiation. A very common mistake for candidates to make is they reveal what they will accept very early in the recruiting process. And I know sometimes it's difficult to not give this information because it comes up as a question in the early stage of the interview as what's your current salary or what is your salary expectation. Actually, I made an entire video about how to answer these questions. I've given 3 examples. You can check the video here. Here's my favorite answers. Salary is part of the confidentiality employment agreement I have signed with my own company, and I would like to respect that confidentiality. If we do move forward in the recruiting process, I will be open to discuss a number that is fair for you and myself. Or if you would like to share with me the range you have, I can tell you if it's below or above my expectations. This is a great answer because it demonstrates your integrity or confidence, and also you might get a range from the recruiter so that you can keep this information for later where you actually can use for negotiation. The next mistake is that you bring it up too early. As we said, the best time to discuss about salary is at the time when you actually got the offer. If you bring it too early, you might come across as too focused on the money. The next mistake is lack of research and lack of preparation. With so many websites available, you can easily go to glassdoor.com/salaries to research your market value based on your competence and your experience and understand what is the market average. And this information certainly can serve as a guide so that it puts your expectations into perspectives. The next mistake is you focus on your own needs. Employers don't really care about how the salary will cover your mortgages, your cost of living, your kids, your life. This is a mistake I often see candidates make. They focus on how much they're worth, what they need to make their life work, instead of the value they are bringing to the position. So when you negotiate, what you don't want to do is to make it about the lifestyle you already have. Instead, you want to be focusing on the value you bring and the market research you have done. The next mistake is focus only on the salary. What you want to do is look at the entire compensation package, which include not just salary, but health insurance, pension, bonus, stock options, etc. And if you are a senior executive, you also want to look at the long-term incentive, which include cash or stock options or a combination of the both. The next mistake, if you are negotiating for a senior leadership position, is that you neglect the terms of employment agreement. What you want to pay attention to is what happens when you leave the company, or if it's your decision to leave the company. Typically, it would include a non-competition agreement and the termination for cause. Some of these terms can be negotiated and some of them cannot, but regardless, you want to understand the full picture. The next mistake is very common and I've made myself too. That is taking salary negotiation too personally. Believe it or not, it's really not personal. What the company is willing to pay you says how much they value the job, not how much they value you as a person. I do want you to remind yourself that at this point, you already got the offer and you are their final choice. So regardless if you are happy with it or not, they actually chose you. Even if in the end of the day, the negotiation didn't work out, you end up not taking the job, still be grateful and thank them for the opportunity. What you want to do is be professional and not burn your own bridge. The next mistake is over-negotiating and ask for too many changes in the counteroffer. It's valuable to go to a job interview and know how you will be responding to the salary expectation questions so that you come across as confident. What you don't want to do is to be not prepared and come across as unsure and stumbling on your answers. So now let's talk about how you can be prepared. First, if you have to give a number, make sure you give a range based on your research. And a minimal amount should be something you should be happy with if they ever offer you that number. And when you give the range, you do want to mention that you are flexible and willing to negotiate. This will let the hiring manager know there's room for change. And second, if the final offer is really far away from what you expected, you still want to answer them politely and professionally. You can ask if they're willing to negotiate, or you can decline the offer but still thank them for their time and for the opportunity. The last is don't settle for something you cannot live with. If you know for sure you're worth much more than what they are offering and they are not willing to negotiate to increase the bar, you might as well walk away. Don't take the position for the sake of having the job. There will be new opportunities, new interviews, new offers coming up that will fit into your requirements. I have a specific process in the 1% Academy program to help middle management get senior leadership positions and become the top 1% of a company in terms of income and impact. If you want to understand more about it, I would encourage you to join my free masterclass where you can get all the 6 steps to go from middle to top management. In the masterclass, I show you all the 6 steps I used for my client to go from feeling stuck in the middle management to the top leadership positions and become the 1% of a company in terms of their income and impact. Be sure to click the link in the comment area below and you will find out the next steps. If you find this video helpful, you need to watch this video, how to write an executive resume. I'll see you there.